Hello and welcome to episode 2 of EXAPUNKS. So, about that left arm of yours. The medicine stops your condition from spreading, but it can't fix things like that. You'll need to take care of that yourself. What? This is why it was important for you to relearn these skills. It's a good thing I found you when I did. So yeah, we can connect to that network and see what's going on. Now, what they're basically saying is this disease, the Phage, it's actually converting your body into computer parts. Progressive neuroplastic dysfunction, and it's not an accurate name at all, or whatever. But basically, the entry in the zine says, hey, somebody actually connected to the computer hardware inside their nervous system and was able to talk to it like a network with execution agents. So you can try to fix your system. Right now, the central nervous system connects through the arm through these nodes. The problem is that the values are too high and too low, so you can create a shunt using a pair of execution agents to make sure the values never exceed the limit. So we're going to link to 800, and now we're going to run in a loop. Mark loop, and then we're going to copy nerve into X. Now we got a test. Is it less than 120? So test X less than minus 120. If it's true, jump to low. Similarly, test X greater than 50. In that case, we're going to jump to high. Otherwise, we're going to copy the value of X to the message register and jump to loop. So now we're going to have the fixed one. So we're mark low, and then for that we're just going to copy minus 120 to the messenger, and then we're going to jump back to more or loop. Similarly, mark high, copy 50 to the message register, and then jump back to loop. On the other side, this one just has to run through the network, so it's going to have to link 800, link minus or 1. It's going to do that 4 times, so let's just copy. Now we're just going to, in a loop, copy the data. Loop. So we're going to copy M to the nerve, and then jump back to the loop. And that should be us, right? So let's see this. So look, we're getting data coming in, and we're sending the right data out. Let's see how this works. Brilliant! Super, super easy, but apparently I could do this in fewer cycles. Maybe there's a way to optimize this. Maybe you could just unroll the loops so that you did it in less work. You don't need to optimize for every category at once. So you can have one which has a lot of unrolled loops that doesn't optimize for size, for example, and have that separate from the one which is for this, to be designed to be small. So I've literally hot fixed myself. I've patched my own neural pathways. Seems like nothing but a hassle. Maybe one day. Well, we can talk about that foreboding later. Or foreshadowing, sorry, isn't it? Oh, I broke the tab key, stepping too much in Exodus. That's the development environment. If you alt-click an instruction, it will run up to it and stop. That's a useful trick. You see, pay attention, you'll learn stuff. Okay, so this one, I've got to cause the last stop factory to produce peanut-free peanut blast bars. Right. You like snacks, don't you? You don't have to answer that. I know you like snacks. That's what why we're going to hack a snack factory. Why? It's an experiment. It will be very funny. Okay, peanut blast. So what do we have to do? Remove the word peanuts from the peanut blast recipe, file 237. Note that the target keyword will appear in a different position in each of the 100 test runs. Okay, so what I gotta do, so here's all like the delivery lists, and great. So the reason you get it in a file is because you need to make sure that you can read it. Okay, first thing we're going to do is grab file 300, and I'm going to copy the file descriptor, or the first value in the file, into the X register. Now I'm going to drop this. Next, we're going to link all the way over. So we need to link to edit line 237. So we need 2 of these. Link. So now I'm in the right place. I'm going to grab file 237, and we're going to loop. So what we're going to do each time is copy the value. I guess we could compare the value of f. That's what we're going to do. So test f equal to x. If that's true, I'm going to jump. Or sorry, if it's false, let's jump to loop. Now that's presuming that if we don't find it in the file, we're going to be in trouble because we'll reach the end of the file. You can also test for end of file, but I'm presuming it'll be nice. So now, if that matched, then we fall through, and at this point we need to seek back 1, and I think we can void f. I think that's how you do it. You write an empty value into f, and then drop the file. Oh, that's it. I can just quit. Let's see if that works. Oh, oh, wow, that worked, apparently. Excellent! Super, super simple. And now, the Peanut Blast factory is not producing peanut butter things. So yeah, same idea here. I think you can obviously optimize this by shrinking down the number of cycles here. Or by unrolling loops, but at the expense of instructions. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this. Processing. No peanuts in Peanut Blast. Was that funny? It was hilarious. Yes, foiled expectations. Human behavior is predictable in aggregate. More data for the corpus. Let's continue. Zebros copies. So gassed, when's the next issue of the zine coming? Good question. Print shop's a little unhappy with me right now. They didn't really buy my argument that I shouldn't have to pay. Ha, did you really try to argue that with them? No, but I owe them money. So, this job is to erase the record of Gast's debt to the copy shop. You're going to help Gast with his copy shop bill. That's kind of you. He's an old friend. That's nice, but Gast isn't paying for your medication. I'm not jealous, I'm just saying. Have fun with the copy shop server. There we go, Zebros coffees, 2 zebras. Okay, so I have to erase Gast's debt to the copy shop by zeroing out his balance in the customer database, file 200, and appending a payment to the payment log with today's date and the exact amount of his prior balance. That's complicated. Digicash point of sale systems. Okay, let's see if we can find that. Digicash, look at this. So the transaction log contains a list of transactions with 4 values for each transaction, the date, the customer ID, or the dollars paid, and the cents paid. The real-time clock is useful for time-stamping the transaction. Sometimes there's a small amount of customization. Okay. 3 values. The customer ID, dollars owed, and cents owed. Right. So what we want to do is find this ID in this file. There we go. And set these values to 0. And then we also want to take these values and append something to this file. So we need at least 2 agents. Possibly 3 actually, because let me just think about it. So file 200 and 201. Yeah, let's just do this with multiple X's, right? So we're going to do it with 2. So first of all, number 1 is... Okay, hold on. I'm just thinking about this. Okay, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. So this, we're going to grab 300, and then we're going to copy F into the X register, drop, and then link over to 800, and grab file 200, because we need to know the values in this. Now, we need to find it in here, right? So we're going to mark a loop, and we're going to test whether X is equal to F, right? And if it's false, we're going to jump back to loop. I could probably make this faster by adding an extra thing, an extra step. But we'll just do this way. So now when we find it, we fall through to here. And at that point, we're going to be in a position to read these two values and copy them. So what I want to do is copy those values over to the messenger node, right? Copy F to M, copy F to M, and now we want to seek back -2, and then copy 0 to F, and that should fix up that file, right? Oh, you know what I probably need to do? Let's copy the value of X as well. So we're going to copy the date. So this one needs to get the date stamp because it's going to be used. So it needs to link over to 800, and then link over to 801, and then copy the value of time, a date actually, into X. Now then we're going to link back to -1 and open, or not open. Why is it not open? That would make so much more sense. It's file 201. And we're going to seek to the end. Because he hasn't paid anything, right? Now the values should just be coming in over the network. But I need to first of all copy my X value, the timestamp, into the file. And then copy M to F and just do that 3 times, right? And I think that should work. Let's just hold this, right? Let's try this. I'm gonna hold Alt. So we're in here in the same core. We've already read through this. We've found his entry. Let's see what happens. Oh, we're waiting for this guy. That's not right. That didn't work. Or did it? Out of instructions here. Okay. Test run complete. Okay, so it did totally work. First time. I wasn't sure that was working, but I guess it works just fine. Excellent! Oh, I could probably shrink the activity a little. I mean, it's probably running more cycles than it needs to because it's not skipping forwards to, right? So look, if I go back to continue editing, I can probably make this a little faster here. So it does failure jump to loop. So what I could do is instead is T-jump to found. We'll add mark found. So instead, I'm going to seek forward to, and then jump back to loop. And that should save us some cycles here, right? Let's see if that works. Oh, look, there, reduced my cycles a bit. Size is a little bigger. I'm not sure what activity is. Oh well, never mind. Return. Is that copy shop name unusually weird to you? It's an outlier in my model. What zebras supposed to be? They're zebras, but they're also bros. Oh, I get it, but I don't get it. I'm tired. How can you be tired? You're an AI. I'm thinking of putting together a new rig. Oh my god, I opened a peanut blast and it had no peanuts in it. What the? Ha! It's Peanut Blast. How could they get that wrong? What the heck? I'm so mad. Calm down. It's not the end of the world. Okay, meeting with Isadora again in Eddy Street, San Francisco.
Hello?
Hello?
You in there?
You in there? This voice, it's Isadora. I remember the name, but not much else. Isn't this someone I've known for a long time? Hey, Isadora.
Hey, I brought you some snacks. It's it's peanut blast, but without the peanuts. I guess there was some screw up at the factory, so now we have a bunch of these that we can't sell. Seemed like a waste to throw away.
Yes, you should throw them at me. A few of the non-peanut containing peanut blast candy bars.
I hope you're doing okay.
I'm doing better than you'd imagine, thankfully.
We should hang out again sometime.
Have we hung out before?
I don't have a lot of free time anymore, though. Working at Last Stop's really taken over my life.
Yes, that's something you should be dedicating your life to.
Speaking of which, I should get back. Take care, okay?
Man, I think I'm forgetting my old friends because of the Phage. That's strange, I was just at the print shop. My balance there is gone. I don't suppose any of you had anything to do with it. Okay, so we can connect to the network. Would you change your behavior in response to stimuli? Of course you would. Let me refine. Would slogans printed on signs and posters in your environment affect your outlook on the world? What kind of slogans? Something about challenging preconceived notions. I have a selection of them. You'll see. So here we go. This is, again, editing road signs. So we, of course, have a section somewhere in here. Dumpster donuts. Not sure I want that. Let's see if we can find it. Digicatch. There we go. So it talks about the messages and everything. These signs accept messages in the form of a series of 3 number packets written to data. The first number is the row, starting at 0. The second is a column, starting at 0. And the third corresponds to the character you want to display. So we need to read in a file and send the data over the network. So the other thing to know is there are 9, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then 6 here. So it's 9 by 3, just so you know. Now we're going to need 2 of these executable agents because one's going to have to read and the other's going to have to output the data. So the first one is going to link across to 800 and then it's just going to start writing data. So X is going to start at 0 and every time we write we're going to increment X. And I guess we're going to store the value in T. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. So first of all, we need to know we need to write the row and the column. So the row is going to be equal to my counter. I'm going to need a counter. So let's make this loop. Mark loop. So I'm going to divide X by 9 and store it in T. Because T is like the spare register I can actually use. I can't store it in F. I mean, I guess I could open a file and then clear that up. But you can store it in the test register. Then I'm going to copy the value in T to data. Oh, yeah, data. Similarly, now we're going to do the mod because we need to do column. So mod I, X, 9, store it in T, and write that to data. Finally, we're going to write the character, and we're going to get that from the message bus, right? So copy M to data. And now we need to test now we need to add, right? So we need to, wait a second, add I, X1, store in X. And then what's 9 times 3, 27. So if our value is 27, we're done, right? Test X equal to 27. F jump back to loop. So this guy is just going to grab 300 and then it's going to sit in a loop. Mark loop and then copy F to M. Now we're going to test EOF, and if it's false, we're going to jump back to loop. I think that should work. Let's try this. Oh, think about it. Oh, there, totally worked. Huh. Fight the power! Success. So you can clear the sign and stuff like that if you want, but I don't know if my stats are good, but I guess I did pretty well there. Excellent! That was a great test. Now I just have to take the data, separate out the multiple experimental... Processing. Okay, I have no idea what to do with this data. How about if you notice more people questioning authority? Let me know. In my circles, everybody questions authority. Okay, so now it's the end of this episode. We'll come back with episode 3. Until then, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.